repopulation plans.
They will be giving guidelines according to the data that they have.
As the CDC considers cutting classroom social distance in half. Promoter-in-chief,
quickly and directly to the American people where they belong.
President Biden believes in his new relief law. Now he wants to convince the nation. And top cop,
he has accepted the chief of police job in Miami, Florida.
The chief of police in Houston is taking his talents to Miami. It's all coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Zitlali Solache, and today is Tuesday, March 16th, 2021.
From the South Florida Media Network's Biscayne-based studios in North Miami, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
Morning with breaking news. Video has just been released showing the aftermath of yesterday's afternoon fiery plane crash in Pembroke Pines. The small plane had just taken off from North Perry Airport. It clipped a power line and struck an SUV on the way down. Both people in the plane have died, as well as a boy who was in the SUV. A woman who was also in the SUV was rushed to the hospital. Also this morning, new COVID classroom recommendations could be coming soon. Dr. Rochelle Walensky, the director of the CDC, saying her organization will consider possibly cutting the classroom recommendation in half. It comes after the Harvard study showed no difference in transmission by masked students between 3 feet and 6 feet, and on the same day that all 50 states met with the president's deadline to begin vaccinating all K-8 teachers, regardless of their age.
Most of our schools are already back to in-person learning.
They will be giving guidelines according to the data that they have.
Watching community spread, these are the CDC's 5 strategies for reopening safely: universal masking, physical distancing, washing hands, cleaning facilities, and improving ventilation, along with contact tracing, isolation, and quarantine. The stimulus bill has been signed, but now President Biden and members of his team are taking their pitch out on the road.
We're going to make sure that the benefits of the American Rescue Plan go out quickly and directly to the American people where they belong.
Vice President Harris was in Las Vegas yesterday, the president being today in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. His team is fanning out across states such as North Carolina, Georgia, and New Mexico. The tour marks the second phase of the pitch for the recently passed $1.9 trillion COVID relief plan. More than 2 months after the Capitol riots, 2 men are facing charges for spraying Capitol Police with a toxic chemical agent. One of the officers sprayed died the next day. Reporter Britt Conway with our news partner at CNN is on the case.
January 6th, hundreds of rioters stormed the U.S. Capitol. Prosecutors say among them, 32-year-old Julian Ellie Cater and 39-year-old George Pierre Tanios. They're each facing 9 counts for what investigators say happened that day.
It's clear that it took a long time for law enforcement to get to this point.
The Brian Sicknick case has been a priority for investigators. According to a criminal complaint, the men were, quote, working together to assault law enforcement officers with an unknown chemical substance by spraying officers directly in the face and eyes. One of those 3 officers was Sicknick. Police say he went back to a command center and collapsed. He died the next day. Cater and Tanios faced judges on Monday. Cater's attorney says he plans to plead not guilty. Tanios will have a hearing Thursday on whether he'll stay in jail before trial. Prosecutors say they worry he could run or obstruct justice if he's let out, and that he's a danger to the community. Right now, they're charged with assault, not murder. Investigators didn't say in the complaint whether the exposure to the spray directly caused Sicknick's death.
They are keenly focused on trying to find the right evidence to fully understand how he lost his life. What was that, singular moment? We may not get to that.
And if they can't, prosecutors still have a powerful tool to make their case.
You are also going to have 2 officers who are going to say, I was sprayed in the face with a chemical substance.
I'm Britt Conway, reporting.
Houston's police chief is leaving the department and moving to the Sunshine State. After being the first Hispanic to hold the position as chief for 4 years, he announced through an email that he would begin his journey in the city of Miami. Houston's mayor brought it up in yesterday's city council meeting.
That he has accepted the chief of police job in Miami, Florida. I hate to see him leave city of Houston. A lot of us hate to see him leave the city of Houston. But if you allow me from a biblical nature, we all recognize that there's a time and a place, and there's a season for all of us.
Art Acevedo is known for being a fixture in discussions about policing and public safety. And the chief is also recognized for speaking out on subjects regarding national and state lawmakers, including former President Trump. A hospital security guard delivering more than just safety. That's still ahead, and so is this story.
It's none of your business.
You made it my business.
No, I didn't.
You got loud.
I'm talking to him.
Airport outburst. What this ride passenger said to his driver that made a woman walking by so mad she could scream. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out.
And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org. This is the story of a boy who was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
I hope this is not your example, because the world doesn't operate like this.
In front of his kids, a woman at an airport hears a man use anti-Asian slur and comes to the defense of an Uber driver. A tense video confrontation is viral after involving a pass-by verbal outburst against an Uber driver. The video captures hurl racist comments at him.
It's none of your business.
You made it my business.
No, I didn't.
You got loud.
I'm talking to him.
I was feeling so much anger and frustration. I just wanted to make sure that he was okay. So my first initial reaction was to yell.
The woman you hear shouting is outraged after she says the man in the video shouted racial slurs at a Filipino Uber driver at Los Angeles International Airport. Stella said she was waiting for her own ride when she heard the commotion and had to speak up. Uber banned the rider and said in a statement that Uber does not tolerate racism or hate in any form against any community. Tiffany Owen, a Hennepin County Medical Center officer, comes to the rescue just in time for a sudden childbirth. The woman, Lacey Gonzalez, unexpectedly gave birth outside the facility, and the officer was quick to help deliver her.
The whole time I just kept looking at her eyes, and all I could see was courage, and I knew everything was going to be okay.
I was by myself for what seemed like eternity, but it was just, a minute or two. She continued to push. I caught the baby when she was born.
The baby girl was taken to the ER by medical staff and then to the birth center. The family named their baby girl in honor of the officer who helped deliver her, Tiffany, meaning manifestation of God. That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Zitlali Solache. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.edu.